everyone. Keep it down. Cole Phelps joins the arson squad today.
How'd you like porking that German whore, Phelps?
Phelps is up before a review board in December. Until then, he works the arson desk. End of story. Phelps.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what you did or didn't do, Phelps. I hear you're a good case man. But if you fuck up on my detail, I'll have you out of here before your feet touch the ground. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Cap, we don't want a fucking rat like Phelps.
Can it, Tilden? Phelps, I'm partnering you with Herschel Biggs.
I don't do partners. You know that, Cap.
You do now, Biggs. Social basket cases like you two should get along just fine. Biggs will show you the ropes, Phelps.
This is arson. There are no ropes.
It shouldn't take long, then. Start with these two. House fires. 326 South Kenmore Avenue. Steffen's family was out of town when it happened. Then go to 4414 Rosewood, family by the name of Sawyer. Fire brigade will be on location.
Are they suspicious, Captain?
That's for you to find out, Detective. Now get out of here. Both of you. Get out!
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired myself.
I want to make homicide. You know you make it.
This is no battle of wits between you and me. I never pick on an unarmed man.
Can you drive to this one?
All right. Where to? Hi, Albert. We've caught this case.
Hey, Biggs. You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of arson. Family of 4 found dead in their beds. Heater explosion.
Hey, another one.
Looks that way. Insta-heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go bang. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
Hey, Biggs. Is this significant?
Be careful.
Hurry, you can still catch up.
See him?
Stop! LAPD! We got an ID on the firebug. Stop right there.
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You like this fire, Herbert?
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Louis Armstrong.
Here they are. Steffens. The Sawyer family. Rosewood Avenue.
I'm told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes.
Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
How does it really work?
A company wants to promote a product. They send out flyers. Customer phones or writes in that they have the winning number. Simple.
We're going to look into this thing further, Cunningham. I hope it's all above board. Otherwise, we'll be back, and it won't be pleasant.
You can't strong-arm me.
He can't, but I can.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Mr. Stevens, Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs, LAPD. I know it's a difficult time, but could we have a word?
Don Steffens.
You were out of town.
We won a prize. We had a wonderful time. Came home to this.
Do you still have the tickets?
Sure.
It's a formality, but we'll need to speak to the issuing agent. Can you tell me any more about the prize that you won, Mr. Steffens?
Weekend at Catalina Island. My wife got this flyer in the mail from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
I'm sorry to have to ask you this, Mr. Steffens, but was the house insured?
No, it wasn't. I couldn't afford it, and the house needed a lot of work.
The redevelopment fund. Did they offer to buy you out?
They're building new houses. They showed their money, and most of the neighborhood just packed up and walked away. But I never bargained with them.
GI houses?
Yeah, something like that.
Mr. Steffens, you're hiding something, and I can't get to the bottom of this until you give it up.
We're done. My wife and my kids are waiting.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
What a skunk. Walking out on his wife like that.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need information on the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Yes, Detective. Just checking. The fund is a semi-government agency established to speed up the building of GI homes. It has private investors as well as a government endowment.
Huh. You have an address for them?
There is one listed here, corner of Beverly and Mariposa.
Thanks, ma'am. You're behind the wheel.
So where do you want to go? Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address.
Great partners must think alike.
There ain't nobody here but us.
Alicia are investors in the Suburban Redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
KTI reminds you a great job awaits you in the United
We came as soon as we could.
Lynch.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Good, your regulator's in position. Okay, I'll light your pilot and turn the gas on.
You pull the...
Well, you don't see that ever.
Can you drive to this one?
All right. Where to?
Some bitch looks a lot like the cop who pointed his gun at me.
You're a modest little person.
I think he's a bit of a
Much to be
gangster,
used.
but he treats me nice.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
How many guys would know how to make that change?
All you need is a screwdriver and a wrench. Anybody could pull it apart and put it back.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
Could the switch have been done on purpose?
Yeah, I suppose it could. There must be easier ways to burn down a house, though.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not gonna roust that whole list.
I want to run it by R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Do it again. I dare ya.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Cutner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter, previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew, charged for contempt of court, attempted murder, plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady. Your employment. Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
I think he's a bit of a gangster, but he treats.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
He's an installer with a criminal record.
Sounds like a bad hombre.
You were licensed and worked for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
You did 4 years for burning down a house in Westwood. What are you doing working as a gas fitter?
I did my time for that.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy. Back to the Sawyer house. It's a shitty job.
You're behind the wheel.
We missed something there.
You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Those are GI's backyards with crashed.
The damage is only cosmetic.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
Why did you run?
Back to the Sawyer house.
You know the way.
It's a
You can
shitty
drive.
job, but we missed something there.
It's up to every American, man, woman, and child, to save a little food.
Beat her up so bad, I found him. It's in the station.
Mouthpiece first stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though, because he still wouldn't sell.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an Insta-Heat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
Give me something, Varley, or I'll put it all on you.
Hey, look, I could try to pin this on one of the other guys, but I'd just be making something up.
House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
Where's the phone? I know that face. That's the guy who busted all those Negro drug pushers last week, isn't it?
You think the Vice Boys get any on the side?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Can you drive to this one?
45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs. What are you doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. Muscles and tendons contract.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating you big.
How bad is it?
You don't look like a fireman, son.
LAPD, can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
And then what happened?
It was like Pearl Harbor with bits of the house raining down. Blew out all of our windows that faced the place.
I'll have a patrolman come by and take your statement. Hopefully you'll be a little bit more cooperative with him.
Come on, kid. I'm doing my best here. You were talking about the competition, right? Catalina Island? I've got one of the flyers in the kitchen if you're interested.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
for Elysian Fields Developments. When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
I heard this is a triple homicide. Is that true?
Mister, a man like you always loses a battle.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads in the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe. He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
You gonna see a married man again?
May I help you, gentlemen?
Who are you? How did you get in?
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD. We'd like to ask you some questions.
Oh. Why didn't you say so, officer?
We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
What's your connection to the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
It's an organization of civic-minded individuals whose goal is to make the city a better place for its inhabitants. Something I was proud to be asked to join.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
2 families are dead, Mr. Monroe. This isn't a question of criminal liability. We're looking at conspiracy to commit murder.
Do you know who you're talking to, son? You want to use incendiary language like that with me? I suggest you should leave immediately.
You've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
So it's for the greater good, then. One man standing in defiance of what you think is best for the city. I thought an American's home was their castle.
I'm not sure I like your tone, son.
We need something to go on. Otherwise, more people will get hurt, and you'll keep losing houses.
Well, I want to help in any way I can, officers. The contractors I use for waybills. Do you suppose it might be one of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help. My secretary will provide you with the list. On your way out.
Glad to be of help, officers.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Your boss is a fine man.
The women don't find you handsome? They should at least find you
Operator,
handy.
message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
It's not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thank you.
Take another step this way, and there's gonna be trouble.
I don't know what makes me so stupid, but it really works.
You're behind the wheel.
All right. Where to? How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole? That's done. We're gonna have to pacify these poor saps. Come on, then.
Time for you to loosen.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap. You got an idea, Hotshot?
KGPL calling car 11K, 11K.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL.
Can you drive to this one?
Walked out on his bike.
So where do you want to go?
There's some
Let's
kind of
take
problem.
a look at the car.
Let's see what he's hauling around. Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence. Should revise the APB. He's clearly armed. Definitely gives him opportunity.
Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched.
What the hell?
Mr. Kelso?
That's what the sign on the door says, miss.
Olive oil comes from olives.
There's no need to come into the office, Miss Lichtman. If you accept the settlement, all you need to do is sign here.
I don't...
The heck?
Sounds like your friend took a hell of a fall. I'm sorry for your loss. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course not.
What basis do you have for your claim of foul play?
Lou Buckwalter was a craftsman. I don't believe he would have made a roof that would collapse.
You want me to reopen this case based on your woman's intuition? That isn't going to happen. Take the money.
I've already told you I do not want the money. There's something wrong with that house.
You and Buckwalter weren't married?
No.
Then how did you become his beneficiary?
We were Family friends.
I'm just confused, Miss Lichtman. What's so difficult about accepting this money?
I don't like your attitude, Mr. Kelso.
That's okay. I'm not selling it. So the roof collapsed. Accidents happen. What exactly are you trying to achieve here, Miss Lichtman?
Exactly what I said. I want that building thoroughly investigated.
You expect me to believe that you have no ulterior motive? That money means nothing to you?
I believe that money has value. I believe your work defines who you are, and you should be paid relative to the quality of your work. If you...
I'll be in touch.
Come on, I'll walk you up.
He plays the saxophone. Oh, and boy, does he get me going.
Grown men playing at being boys.
Your car, Mr. Kelso. Thanks, kid. That's not how my pop taught me to mix it. Someone is cutting corners. Bulldozing and starting again. Leland Monroe, the man with the grin. Looks like he doesn't like to be disappointed.
Hey! You just can't be walking around down here.
I'm Jack Kelso, from California Fire and Life.
I don't care if you're from the Vatican. Buzz off.
I'm investigating the accidental death of a Lou Buckwalter, and...
You deaf? Do I have to beat on you?
Looks like you do.
You're real.
I came to see the house where Lou Buckwalter died. You were just about to offer to show me the way.
It's out the gate and 3 houses down on the left. Don't know what you're looking for, smart guy. There's nothing there.
Then I'll poke around in the rubble.
Fine. As long as you're out of my sight.
You are listening to Duke Ellington on KTI.
The place falls down, and then they bulldoze it. What gives here?
God damn!
Let's try to piece this together.
Keystone Films? Who gets their lumber from a film studio? Hi, Mac. I work for California Fire and Life. I'm looking into an industrial accident.
Here?
No, not here. At a housing development over on Normandy Avenue.
So?
I found some lumber over there, had the Keystone name printed on it.
We've been closed since '41. Never quite made the transition to talkies. The Suburban Redevelopment Fund are pulling the place down.
Know anything about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nix.
Mind if I take a look around?
I'm kind of hungry. If someone was to leave a couple of bucks here, I might wander down the street and get a cup of coffee.
Is there a key to the gate?
No. The only guys who go in or out are some delivery guys from Elysian Fields. They're working on a housing development over at Wilton and Santa Monica. You'll have to hop it.
In a great day for the
Game
future
well
of Los
telephone.
Angeles, civic leaders and businessmen join
Operator, can you put me through to police dispatch?
Putting you through now.
This is Jack Kelso, investigator for California Fire and Life. Can you put me through to Curtis Benson, please?
Just a moment, please, Mr. Kelso.
Jack, how can I help?
Do you know anything about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund, Mr. Benson?
I've heard of them, Jack. Building new homes for GIs.
With green lumber that was used on movie sets.
Jack, are you working the Buckwalter case?
Mr. Benson, are you part of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Jack, I want you to listen very clearly. Call Miss Lickman. Call her as soon as you hang up. Arrange to see her tonight and get her to agree to the settlement. Do it tonight. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
End of story, Jack. I don't want to hear another word about Elsa Lickman or Lou Buckwalter.
Can you put me through to Michigan 221?
Putting the call through.
Hello?
Ms. Lichtman, it's Jack Kelso.
Yes, Mr. Kelso.
I've been looking into your case.
Yes, and what have you found?
It doesn't look good. I need to see you.
Meet me at the Blue Room. I work there tonight. I take a break around 9. I'll be waiting at the stage door. We can talk then. Auf Wiedersehen, Mr. Kelso.
Thanks, ma'am.
I can't describe between the two
Time for you to lose some teeth.
I'm about to break your goddamn jaw.
Hello, Miss Lichtman. How long have you been sitting there?
Not long, Mr. Kelso.
You look lovely, Princess. You haven't exactly caught me at my best. It's okay, Miss Lichtman. I'm a big boy. I know how to take my licks.
Please, call me Elsa.
Okay, Elsa? What can I do for you?
I'd like to explain because
I can join the dots, Elsa.
Cole needs your help, Jack. The police department have frozen him out.
Look, you're obviously a brave lady, but you can't fight all Cole's battles for him.
I just wanted to apologize for...
You don't have to apologize. You were right about Elysian Fields. Tell me something. What was Lou Buckwalter's regular job?
He was a carpenter. He built sets for RKO, Warner Brothers.
Set carpenter? Perfect. If you don't mind, Elsa, I'd like to get a little rest now. I've got a lot more dots to join, and it's making my head hurt.
That's perfectly understandable, Mr. Jack. I hope we can meet again under less dramatic circumstances.
I hope so too, Princess. I'd like that.
You Kelso?
Who's asking?
Peterson, Assistant DA.
You're in the wrong building, Peterson. This is a hospital.
A wise guy. Let me tell you a story, Kelso.
Can I get the abridged version? My head hurts.
You're a funny guy, Jack.
What do you want, Peterson?
A colorful character mentioned your name. He said that you might know something about...
There's a problem with colorful characters, Peterson. First, they send you over a drink. Then they buy you dinner. Then you get a phone call in the middle of the night for a favor. Try rubbing shoulders with some solid citizens. They're the ones you're supposed to protect.
You finished, Kelso?
For the moment.
I'm going to run for DA, Kelso. The current administration stinks.
And you want me to help?
I'm looking for a DA's investigator. You get a gun and a badge and $120 a month.
I get $150 a month now.
I'm going after the Vice Squad, Kelso. It's going to get me elected.
I've got something better. How about Leland Monroe?
The property developer?
You think I fell down the stairs? Thanks for the patch-up, Princess. Might be the only R&R I get for some time. I knew you were in bed with Elysian, Curtis. Now I know why. I want answers, Curtis. So pay attention.
Please, Jack. I'm not a violent man.
I don't get it, Curtis. You're vice president of the company. Why take the risk?
It's a simple business transaction, dear boy.
You must have worked years to get to the top of the company. You're prepared to throw that all away?
Life is full of tiny moments of opportunity. You either seize them or get left behind.
Tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
You're talking about the future of Los Angeles. You cannot interfere with these plans.
Information, Curtis.
Business people who have joined forces to meet the demand for new homes.
You and Monroe are going to scam those guys out of their GI bond.
Jack, you are so naive.
Why the big payoff in the Buckwalter case? It was bound to bring it to attention.
Who could have predicted this particular confluence of events? Elsa Lichtman as the beneficiary who spurns the cash, the brilliant but flawed detective becoming her lover, and you, Jack, taking their bait.
You buy green lumber and use it to build houses. How do you expect it to end?
Mr. Monroe has a fine reputation for building houses. What would I know about his choice of building materials?
The DA will cut you a deal if you turn state's evidence.
Nice try, Jack. But I don't think so.
Very neat, Curtis. Maybe I can't work it out, but Phelps can. He may be many things, but he is one of the best detectives the LAPD has ever had.
What exactly do you expect to find, Jack?
The American Century Broadcasting Company salutes our veterans.
Hey, buddy, you got something? You wait.
I'm just going up to my office party. Gotta check over some files.
Take the elevator. First door on the right when you come out. You know the way, Kelso.
So, Curtis, what is it you don't want me to see? 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west. Insured replacement value for the house is $900. Current value of the house and land is $3,500. Christ, how many of these dumps are we carrying on the books?
Hello there.
You need some help there, sir?
I'd like to see the company details of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Certainly, sir. Just this way.
All those suburban sons of bitches ought to be listed in here. Courtney, for God's sake, what's he got to do with this? I'd like information on a plot of land.
Okay, do you have the address?
Not exactly. It's a new lot. I have the coordinates. 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west.
All right, that makes it a bit more difficult. Come with me. I believe that is in the Wilshire area.
34 degrees, 4 minutes, 29 seconds north. 118 degrees, 17 minutes, 58 seconds west. The lot number's 1876988.
Unfortunately, that is just the beginning. We have at least 1 million lot numbers in the Los Angeles area. Registrations are in alphabetical order. You need to convert your lot number to a letter.
How do I do that?
Over here, use this adding machine. There are 90,000 entries to a book, so divide your lot number by 90,000.
1876988 divided by
90,000, yes.
$1,876,000. 20.
A starts at 0, so you want to add 1 to your number.
21.
That number is your letter of the alphabet. Once you have the letter, find the right aisle, and you are in business.
You do this every day? Let's see what the site is worth to them. The book value is $350. With the new home in place, the improved value of the property is $3,500. They can make a killing. But how do they pull it off?
Kelso.
Who's asking?
Leland Monroe.
Monroe, where are you? That's a hell of a payroll. I'm guessing Benson's portfolio is only a fraction the size of yours, Monroe. Smart. Keep the dirt on Fontaine under lock and key. This is your insurance. Some sold up. The others obviously didn't know the lengths these sons of bitches would go to. The Suburban Redevelopment Fund. Remind me what they say about absolute power, Monroe.
Dr. Fontaine.
Good morning, Doctor.
It's got to be one of these places.
The arsonist's a bug sprayer. He must have worked at one of these joints.
I work for the DA. I'm looking for a big cowboy, does extermination. Anyone like that working here?
Well, I wouldn't want to get anyone into any trouble.
We could do this the hard way. An address?
Yeah, he lives in a bunkhouse on the remains of the old Rancho Rincon.
Thanks.
Looks like Fontaine has finally dispensed his last treatment.
Take your time. I'll give you and the doctor some privacy.
Monroe wasn't happy. People started dying and it attracted attention. He and the doctor lost control. So much for your foresight, Doctor. Good doctor has been marking this map. Edgewood Grove, McCarthy Vista, Arson Heights, Rancho Escondido. Do those names mean anything to you, Herschel?
Yeah. How come?
New houses, all being built in the path of the freeway?
That goddamn pet balloon.
Fontaine was having houses burned for Monroe.
Guess nobody's home. Most guys bring home a 45 or an M1. This is pretty extreme. Quite a flock you got here. I know those faces. Jesus Christ, I know every one of them. The river tunnels. This guy's a tunnel rat. Oh my God, Ira. You poor backwards son of a bitch.
Killed that man!
He was doing him a favor.